Hi everybody, good morning. Instagram seems to be throwing me all over the shop today. I just started recording and I was like, that doesn't look right. And I definitely wasn't live, so God knows what was happening. So say hi if you're there. If you're watching on replay, say replay. I know it's early, so yeah, you might have to catch it later. I wanted to do a video on there not being a magic button, because if you followed me for a while, you'll know that I've been on that side of the fence. So I was on that side of the fence for multiple years, unfortunately had multiple miscarriages, failed IVF, chemical pregnancy, and I know how desperate it can get. I know how hard it gets. I know how lonely it gets, and I know the feeling of being in a position where we just think, I'll do anything. I'll do anything. I'll buy anything. I'm desperately seeking other people's stories, other people's advice. And people come to me so often and say, what's the one thing I can do? And, I can give them snippets of information, but the reality is there is no one thing. That there isn't a magic bean or button or tablet that we can go and take. Because let's face it, if there was, we would have all paid millions for it by now, because I've certainly been in that position where I would have. So there is no one thing, and I think this is the culture that we need to get out of, that when we're going through infertility, no matter how far in we are, no matter what our diagnosis, what our journey, what our story, we just want some answers, we want some truth, and we want some acknowledgement. And the one thing I pride myself on is truth. Sometimes not everyone likes it, but I feel that the truth is important in life anyway. I think we can live very much in this day and age, in this fantasy land. And I know from being sat that end of the desk every month at the doctors or consultants or gynaecologist or fertility clinic, that it was always very general, and I didn't want general. I wanted the truth and I wanted answers. I wanted specific details. So being general, being all airy-fairy about it isn't going to get us anywhere. We've got to take action, and there's no magic button, there's no magic beans, there's no magic tablet. It's lots of things that we change, and we have to commit to that. And I talk about this because it was something I did. So I would go and buy that tablet off the internet because someone on a forum that I never knew told someone else that was what helped them get pregnant. I would go and buy that new vitamin because I'd seen it advertised on the TV. I would go and buy that new brand of ovulation test because I thought that was going to give me my positive ovulation test. I would go and buy that brand of pregnancy test because I thought that was going to be what gives me my pregnancy. The reality is none of that is what's going to be the change. The change needs to come from you. Whether that be, and I don't know everyone's individual scenario, so everyone's working towards something, whether it be getting answers, improving their diet, improving their exercise, improving their sleep and stress levels, because let's face it, when you're going through fertility, those are two of the areas that suffer the most. Whether it be that you're working on getting your BMI down for fertility assistance, I know obviously with IVF you've got to have your BMI right. So everyone's generally working towards something or know an area that they need to improve. So it could be food, it could be communication, it could be confidence, it could be relationship, it could be their mindset. There's always something that we know that we could work on or could improve. And we become so focused and blinkered on just getting pregnant, and again, I've been there, that we forget all of the other stuff. We forget the relationships, we forget the friendships, we forget the confidence that we feel, we forget the diet, we forget the exercise, we forget the sleep and the stress and the hormones, and actually even understanding why any of this is happening and what we can do to help. We just like, what's going to get us that positive test? And the reality is there is no just one thing. It's a combination of all of the little things. So if that's that you need to change your diet and cut out more sugar or more salt, if that's that you need to take control and know a lot more about your cycles, your ovulation, your body, whether it be that you need to stop smoking, cut down on alcohol, lose weight, exercise more, sleep better, sleep more, sleep less. There's a combination. There is no one thing. There isn't. Because if it was just like that, no one would ever need IVF, would they? And the thing that upsets me the most is the lack of confidence in people that I see. Not just in their ability to get pregnant, but also in their ability to commit themselves to something. So lots of women will come and speak to me about different programs, different things that I and other people can do to help. So there's loads of things that you can do to help yourself. And if you followed me for a while, you will know I talk constantly about building your chapters, building your book. That's information I give for free to everybody. It's my number one piece of information. It's not going to be the one thing that just changes you and gets you pregnant within a week, but it's the most important thing to know. And to be able to have that information to go into a doctor's, gynecologist, whatever it may be, and give that. And that's on you. That's your responsibility. And again, not everyone might like this, but it's the truth. We have got to take ownership for what we need to know to go and give that doctor. Because, hands up, I've been the person who's moaned about having 7 minutes in a doctor's appointment or 6 minutes in a gynecologist appointment. But the reality is, I couldn't give him any information. I was waiting for him to just give me all the answers. Surely, now we know that in any relationship, it's much better if we can give them the information to help them provide us with the answers. So we've got to take the ownership of that. It's our bodies. We're there every single day. The gynecologist isn't, the doctor isn't, the fertility specialist isn't, the consultant isn't. That's us. We need to do that. So that's my number one piece of advice. Know your body inside out. Know your cycles, know your ovulation, know what you're changing, know what effects it's having on you. Take ownership. That's what we've got to do. Because we do expect this magic button and this magic tablet, and I've done it myself. I've been and bought this and flitted from this to this, that tablet, that pre-seed, that whatever it may be. I'll do that diet for a week. Oh, it's not working, I'll go and do that. And we do this whole thing. And the thing that upsets me the most, and some people won't get this, is that's a personal thing. That's not about the diet or the ovulation test or the thing that we choose in that week. That's not any of that. That's a us thing. That's a desperation, lack of commitment in a lot of circumstances, and waiting for that miracle. And we get it. I get it. I waited for my miracle for a long, long time. But we're not going to go and do something for a week and it's just going to do that. And I have lots of calls with lots of women about different programs. And I have programs that are £250, £500, £1,500 and over £2,000. Depends how personal you want it and how long you want it. And I have so many women on calls that say, yeah, I need to do this. I need to do this. Yeah, oh, actually, you know what? When I come to think about it, I don't really know anything about ovulation. And I talk so much about this because we're just not taught it at school. So don't beat yourself up about it, but we've got to go and put ourselves out there to learn about it, because the only person it's going to benefit is us. And that's the aim of the game, right? So I speak to so many people and say, you know, we can work on diet, we can work on exercise, we can work on mindset, we can work on your communication, we can work on feeling feminine and having those feelings, because I, for one, definitely lost all that. We can work on mindset, confidence, hypnotherapy, lots of different things. It really depends how in-depth you want to go, what your time-wise commitment is and what your budget is. And as soon as there's that commitment, people go, and it's because we live in this culture of jump. I'll jump from that tablet to that diet to that ovulation test because I want to be able to jump and move from one thing to another. People might not like it and they might not want to hear the truth. And I don't know whether at points I was in a position to hear the truth, in all honesty. I was at that end of the fence for probably nearly 6 years. Some days I would have took the truth quite well, and other days I would have tried to ignore it. So not everyone is in that position to hear that and understand that, and I totally get that. But I pride myself on being honest with people. So I always liken it to, if you're on a diet, and lots of women I work with are trying to lose weight, whether it be through going and having through their BMI for having IVF, whether it be polycystic ovaries, whether it be that they're struggling with the weight from something else. I've always struggled with my weight, so again, I get it. We don't start a diet on Monday, for example. Go and do a 10-minute run on Monday, or 10-minute walk, jog, whatever your exercise of choice is. Have a salad for dinner, and then when we wake up on Tuesday, go, well, I haven't lost 5 stone, so, what we're going to do. A doctor doesn't go to university on day one and say, well, am I going to be qualified by the end of the day? Because if not, I'm not playing this game. It's a long haul, and the sooner we learn this, the better it will be. Because the more we flit, and the more weeks and months we flit from one thing to another, to another, to another, it's all time we're wasting. We've got to commit ourselves to our own journey. And I get it. I've been that woman who sat on Google for hours, every single night, just trying to liken my journey to someone else's, trying to find my magic button, my magic bean, my magic product. Because if it worked for someone else, it's got to work for me, right? No, that is not true. We are all completely different. We need to get out of the general and get in our own lane. As the saying goes, stay in your own lane. We need to get blinkered on our journey, not be paying attention to what everyone else is doing, taking, what they're eating, what they're doing, what exercise they're doing. And that's not saying that we can't ask for help and support and advice, but we don't know someone else's journey. We don't know their diagnosis. We don't know their ins and outs. So all we're doing is taking half a story, half a snippet of information, and trying to put this jigsaw puzzle together that's never going to fit. Because it's not our jigsaw. We're in it for the long haul. And that's the bit that when I see people go like that and pull straight back, whether it be that they don't want to commit time-wise, financially, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, because it is a commitment. And I don't mean this as just me and my programs and my services. Whether it be that you're going and having fertility coaching with me or someone else, counselling, acupuncture, reflexology, massage, Reiki, anything, you're not going to go and have one session and it be like bang. It just doesn't work. Whether it be on fertility or anything else, if you are, I don't know, the really general example that probably pretty much every woman in the world can relate to. If you are going from the point of getting your hair black to blonde, you will know that that is not a one appointment thing. It doesn't happen. We can't go in the hairdressers with black hair and go, oh, I want to be blonde, and go out of there blonde. And if we do go out of there blonde, the reality is our hair's going to snap and break because it's not healthy. It takes time. It's a process. And the sooner that we get to realise that with our journey, the better. The sooner we stop the flitting and commit and take ownership of it's our journey, and we need to have the knowledge rather than trying to find that quick solution, that quick answer, the much better it'll be. So my thought on it is, have a think and try and be really honest with yourself, because there's only you who can do it, of how much you flit from one thing to another. And everything I talk about is something I've done or learned from personally in my own journey. I thought that between my first IVF failing and me going for round 2, that I would get pregnant because my brain had switched off a little bit. It doesn't. Because I wasn't doing the work. My second IVF journey, I did so much work on me. I took a lot more ownership. I stopped focusing on what everyone else was doing and concentrated on me, because that was what was important. That's what I was paying money for. That's what we were paying for our cycle for. And think about it this way. Imagine if we all went for IVF, and I've done it multiple times, and said to our clinic, consultant, fertility specialist, well, if you can't guarantee me that that's not going to work, I'm not doing it. Or imagine if you went back to your consultant, specialist, and said, you know that Clomid you give me didn't work, I'm not pregnant. You know that advice you gave me didn't work, I'm not pregnant. You know that round of IVF or IUI didn't work, I'm not pregnant, so can I have my money back? Imagine the world that we would live in. And unfortunately, we do live in a world like that now, where everybody wants a guarantee. And unfortunately, I'm here to tell you the truth, there is none. There isn't one. And I would love to be able to give people that guarantee to the point that it makes my voice croak. And I'd probably be a multimillionaire. But there isn't. And nobody in the world can do that. No matter how long anyone has been a counsellor, coach, fertility specialist, consultant, embryologist, nobody in the world can do that. So it's down to you to give yourself the best possible chance, whether that be naturally through fertility treatment, through medication, through taking a month or 6 months off, through improving your relationship or your diet or your sleep or your stress or your exercise or your mindset and your confidence. It's down to you to start. It's like building a house. A lot of people say, oh, well, my next step's IVF now, so, I'll just let science do its thing. If that was the case, why wouldn't IVF work every time? It's not just down to science, is it? And I say this as somebody who's done IVF multiple times in completely different headspaces. When you know that you are okay with you and you've done the work on you, you approach everything in life differently. Even when things are down and out, even when things are bad, you can see the wood for the trees, as the saying goes. When you are flitting and you're going from one thing to another and you don't quite know which bit you're meant to stick to because nothing's working, but reality is you've only been doing it a week, you feel so chaotic, so erratic, so pent up, so anxious, so nervous, so desperate. And I know that feeling of just pure desperation. I 100% get that. I would have done anything, and I mean anything, to have my baby. But it doesn't serve us and it doesn't do us well. We have to take ownership of our journey and commit. Whether that's that we go and learn it on our own, we go to somebody like myself, a coach, specialist, dietitian, counsellor, reflexologist, whatever it may be, acupuncture, massage, Reiki. And I'm not just saying this from my point of view. I would speak to lots of other people in the fertility field, and the amount of people that say people just flip from one thing to another. And the reality is we waste so much time, so much energy and so much money. Commit to one thing, commit to learning and having the knowledge about you, your journey and being in your lane. And wherever your road takes you, then you've got the base, you've got the solid foundations, you can start to build on that. And if you create your book, which I talk about all the time, no matter which way that path takes you, you've got everything there. It's your Bible. You can take that to a doctor's, a fertility specialist, a consultant, a clinic, because that helps them to give you the answers. That helps them to stop you coming out of an appointment feeling frustrated because you've had a 7-minute appointment and got no answers. Imagine if you can walk into your appointment and you've got all the information there for them to give you the answers. So some people don't like the truth, but I always pride myself on it because that was what I so desperately wanted for all those years. And I've got my baby now. I've got my miracle. And everything I talk about is something I've learned personally, something that I've been in, and there's never any judgment or shade from it because I've done it. I've been that woman who thought, oh God, I spent £100 this week on different fertility supplements. But you know what? I never stuck to them. I did them for a week and it didn't work, so I was like, next. Stick to it. Stay in your lane, stick to your journey and commit. And if you're thinking, actually, I want to go and do this, and I'm not just saying this about my programs and my services, so whether it's that you want to do a program with me, whether it be that you want to go and have counselling, acupuncture, Reiki, hypnotherapy,
massage, whatever it may be, and you think, oh, I don't know, because, you know, I'd have to squeeze that in time-wise, or it's so much money a week. If you're thinking that way and you're struggling to commit to that, it's 100% a sign that you need to do work on yourself, your confidence and mindset before you do anything else. Because if this path that we are on, and we're destined to be a mom, and we're desperate to be a mom, and we tell ourselves, I'll do anything, if as soon as something comes up, we go, oh, well, I'm not willing to do that, take a step back and think, hold on, I said I'm willing to do anything, but actually, does that mean I'm willing to do anything as long as it fits in my box? Because that's what I see a lot of the time. Women that come on a call with me, I'm willing to do anything. I've been trying X amount of time. Okay? And I'll always put my recommendations to them. And it's not always the most in-depth plan. Some people don't need that. And I'll say, okay, you need the more in-depth one, or you don't. Actually, you just need this, or maybe just some hypnotherapy. And as soon as it's a commitment, whether it be time-wise, mentally, emotionally, financially, people do this whole drawback. So what are you willing to commit to? Because the one thing I can promise you, and as I said, there is nobody in this world who can promise you an answer on your fertility journey. Nobody in the world. No IVF specialist, no consultant, no doctor, no embryologist, no counsellor, no coach. No one can give you that guarantee. But what I can guarantee you is when you have that baby in your arms, no matter how your path's gone, which diagnosis you have, you will be glad that you committed. You will be so glad that you committed. And every time I look at my little girl, I'm so glad that I sorted myself out. I'm so glad I stopped flitting and going from one thing to another aimlessly. Because I did. And again, there's no shade, there's no shame from it. I would go in a supermarket or chemist or pharmacy and buy the newest supplement, try it for a week and think, oh, I'm not pregnant, it's not working. Hello? It doesn't work like that. You have to commit all of these different things. So everything that I talk about, there's no shame, there's no embarrassment, there's no shade there. It's because I've done it myself. And when I look at her, I thank God that I got myself together. And you know what? We had to commit a lot of time and finances to sorting myself out. But it's worth it. Absolutely 100% worth it. And you know what? I would pay it every day. I would find a way. So that's the one guarantee I can give you. It is worth it. I'm just looking at, I've been with my friend for nearly 8 months now. She's so knowledgeable and such an advocate for me too. I went to get pregnant. I know she's done more for me than just acupuncture. Yeah. She's helped me make some tough decisions and comforted me when things have been bad. Yeah. And that's the thing, it is about so much more than that. And we expect to go for this thing, and well done for sticking at it for 8 months. We expect to go and have the answers. Have that magic tablet, that magic bean. It doesn't work. We've got to commit all these different dots. It's like a dot to dot. We've got to put it all together to make the picture. There isn't. Imagine if there was. None of us would ever be here, would we? We'd have a couple of months trying naturally and be like, oh yeah, we'll go and buy that magic tablet. And do you know what? If someone had told me there was a magic tablet and it was £1 million, I'd have raised it. And none of us would be here. But there isn't. If it was all down to science, and this is the one I see the most, oh well, it's IVF now, so, you know, I don't need to do anything else on me or my diet or exercise or sleep or stress. Okay, but can you 100% say that you've put yourself in the best possible position to have the IVF? No, because we haven't done the work. And if you've followed me for a while, you'll know I talk about the suitcase and going from one thing to another and carrying all the baggage. Because I did it first time round. I thought, IVF would be great. Didn't work. Oh, that was a shock. Second time round, IVF did work. I'd done a lot of work on myself, physically, mentally, emotionally, health-wise. And it costs time and money. But I got pregnant. I stayed pregnant. I had Remy, my little girl. And I thought, even then, and she's 6, that there was going to be this magic switch that all the worry would go away. Doesn't. So then I was pregnant and even more worried. And then I had Remy and suffered with really bad postnatal depression and didn't tell anyone because I didn't know how. Because again, I thought there'd be this magic switch that took all the worry away. And I hadn't dealt with all those years of negative test after negative test after negative test after negative test. I hadn't dealt with that. And even when I'd got my baby there and it's all worth it, it's still all going round in here like a washing machine. We're still ramming the stuff into the suitcase. So commit to knowing that you are worth it, whether that be time, energy, finances, sorting something out that you know is in your head or your heart that you need to work on, whether it be that you need to start an exercise program. Start off small. Some change is better than nothing. So how many times have I Googled how to get pregnant fast? I was the queen of Google. Every night I was like, and it's not funny, but I laugh about it now because I think, what was I expecting? I expected something different to pop up every day, like almost like ding, 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 we've finally got the magic answer, and I'll be like, yes. Doesn't work, unfortunately. There is no magic button. Morning, Nikki. So take the time and commit, whether it be, to me, one of my programs, something you've been thinking about, whether it be losing weight, exercising, acupuncture, Reiki, fertility massage, whatever it be that you've been thinking about committing to, or that you know deep down you need to change or you need to work on, commit to it. Don't flit. Don't go from one thing to another. And if you are that person, and I've been there again, that gets to this stage of committing and thinks, oh, I can't commit, whether it be time-wise, energy, finance, that in itself is your answer, that you need to do the work on you. Because if you're getting to the point where, and I'm sure you tell yourself and anyone else, I'll do anything, and then we get there and we're not willing to do that anything, we're willing to do this little list of things as long as it doesn't take more than this time or cost more than this money, that's not anything. And I can guarantee you that after that cycle, you'll think, I wish I did that. So realise that you are worth it. Time, energy, finance, everything. You are worth making that commitment. Stay in your lane, focus on you. So I hope it's been useful for people. I know not everybody probably always likes the truth. And sometimes maybe not in a position to receive that. And I've been there multiple times. So even if it just helps a few people or gives people that, it's generally people go, oh yeah, I know I needed to do that. I know I needed to hear that actually. But as always, if you need any help or support, then just send me a message and have a great day. Take care.